Alright, so for number 1, Sophia drew the triangle shown. Which of the following correctly describes the triangles? Well, I can look at these and I know that these two sides are equal. That one's different. These two sides look equal. This one looks longer. So let's see what they have. It says both triangles are isosceles. Isosceles is two equal sides. They both have two equal sides. Let me check the other one. Both triangles have a right angle, a 90-degree angle. No, they do not. Both triangles have an obtuse. This one is all acute angles, so there's no way they both have obtuse. Both triangles are equilateral. Equilateral means all three sides are equal. It's not that one either. For number 2, two angles of an isosceles triangle each measure 38. What's the measure of the third? Alright, so let's pretend this was, whoops, can't see it. Let's pretend this was our isosceles triangle and it said two of the angles are 38. So what if I put 38 in the bottom of each one of these? How would I find the third one? Well, how we do that is we add 38 twice, or take it times 2, which is 76 degrees. Then a triangle, remember a triangle equals 180 degrees total. So all we have to do is subtract the 76 degrees and we'll get what's left, which is 104 degrees. So that last one is an obtuse angle. So that picture wouldn't work because those were all acute angles, but that's not that big of a deal. Number 3, choose the shapes that are rectangles. Rectangle definition is just 4 right angles. So I look at this, that one definitely has 4 right angles. This one does not. This one has 4 right angles. Those are 90-degree angles, straight up and down, perpendicular. No, this has 1 right angle but doesn't have 4. So those 2 are the only ones. Number 4, it says this tile has 2 pairs of parallel sides. What type of quad is it? Well, opposite sides, 2 opposite sides is a parallelogram. I'm pretty sure I misspelled that. All right, number 5. Which of the following can be used to describe the rhombus? All angles are right angles. No, they're not. All of these angles are acute. This one is greater than 90. That's an obtuse. Opposite sides are perpendicular. That means straight up and down, 90 degrees. Nope. Opposite sides are parallel. Yeah, what we're doing is we're looking for train tracks. Whoops. So these two, if you look straight up and down, if you continue those would make train tracks. And then forget about those now. If you look at the other two, those would make train tracks as well. So yes, their opposite sides are parallel, so it's D. Raiden says that this trapezoid is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. Amanda says that a trapezoid is a parallelogram because it has a pair of parallel sides. Who is correct? Explain. Well, looking at this, if we extend the lines, would continue making a train track, even though I just made a curved line. That would make train tracks. So there's one side. The other side, if we extend those, that is not a train track. Now, even though they won't intersect, well, they would intersect on the other end. What I mean is if I drew these this way, they would intersect. So it's only one pair of parallelograms, which is a trapezoid. For it to be a parallelogram, it has to have 2 sides. So who is correct? Amanda. Trapezoid has 1 pair of parallel sides. That's your answer. Radon's not correct because it only has one and a parallelogram needs two. For number 7, look at the rectangle and square. How are these two figures the same? Well, they both have 4 right angles. How are the two figures different? One has 4 sides that are equal. The other one has 2 pairs of sides that are equal. Alright, so this one we have to look at it and identify as many names as possible. Well, one, it has 4 straight line sides, so it is a quad. Is it a square? Square has to have 4 right angles. No, it's not. Is it a rectangle? It has to have 4 right angles. No, it's not. Is it a rhombus? 4 equal sides. Yes, it is a rhombus. All those sides are equal. Is it a trapezoid? One side is parallel. I'm sorry, 1 pair of parallel sides. No, actually this has 2. Going up and down would make your train tracks. Going side to side would make your train tracks. So it's 2, so that actually makes it a parallelogram. And then if we look at the angles, are the 2 sides that meet at different angles the same for at least 2 of them? Yes. So this is a kite as well. So those are our 4. It's not a trapezoid, it's not a square, it's not a rectangle. Alright, same thing, we're looking at this shape. What can it be? Well, it has 4 sides, it's a quad. It's not a square because all 4 sides are not equal. It is a rectangle because it has 4 right angles. It is not a rhombus because all 4 sides are not equal. It is not a trapezoid because this has 2 pairs of parallel sides. We have train tracks going up and we have train tracks going sideways. So this is a parallelogram. And this is not a kite because we do not have 2 angles that where they connect, the 2 sides are the same lengths. On number 10, it says we have a triangle pennant that is the same length on all 3 sides. Which 2 terms best describe that? Well, if it's all 3 sides are the same, it has to be one of the equilaterals. Now the question is, does an equilateral triangle have all acute angles or does it have obtuse angles? If all 3 sides are the same, it has to be acute. The reason why is if it was an obtuse angle, we would have an angle that would be wider than 90 degrees. That would be wider than 90 degrees. Well, in order to connect that, that bottom side would have to be longer than the other 2. So it cannot be an obtuse angle. Alright, this one says Savan says that the shape below is a trapezoid. Is he correct? Well, a trapezoid has to have 1 pair of parallel sides. So if I look at these opposite sides here, if I extend them on, they are going to intersect. If I look at the other pair and I extend them on, they are going to intersect. So is this a trapezoid? No. 0 pairs of parallel lines. And the last one, triangle ABC is a right triangle. The measure of angle B is 40. What's the measure of angle C? Alright, so we know that a triangle has to equal 180 degrees total. We know this one is 40. We know that this one, since it's a right angle, is 90 degrees. So we can add those two. We can add 90 plus 40. and we get 130 degrees. And to find the missing one, we just take 180 degrees minus our 130 degrees. So angle C will equal 50 degrees.